Okay, for more now on the impact of tariffs in the toy industry, we're joined by James Zahn. He's the editor-in-chief at the Toy Book. James, welcome back to the program. I wish it was under more cheery news, perhaps. Firstly, I want to get your take on Donald Trump. Maybe kids will have 2 dolls instead of 30, and they'll cost more. What's your initial reaction to a comment like that?
Well, it is certainly not something that we expected to hear out of the White House, and not the cheeriest thing going into the holiday season, and when right now they should be producing the toys that would be arriving here for this fall's holiday season. It seems to be an admission that the tariffs are not working, that they're going to raise prices for consumers, that you're going to get a lot less bang for your buck. And this odd hang up on dolls specifically that they've doubled down on. We've heard Stephen Miller talking about that. Honestly, I just don't think that the White House has any idea how the business of play actually functions and all of the American jobs that are at risk from their tariff policies right now.
Yeah, plus having a really unhappy child on a holiday morning, deal with that. Okay, let's talk about how sales have been since Liberation Day. What kind of difference, if any, are you seeing in traffic, consumer spending?
So interestingly enough, foot traffic at retail here has gone up a little bit. One thing that helped that last month is that we had a late Easter. So a lot of the independent retailers, the specialty retailers, they saw a nice uptick in traffic. So we think a couple of things are going on. We think that the consumer might be hearing that prices could increase, but they haven't actually seen it happen yet. So the major toy makers have said that they've seen no indication that folks have pulled forward their purchases, but we also haven't gotten into where the tariffs are going to start showing up on the shelf. When you're going to the store, when you're looking, we haven't seen those prices spike yet, and we certainly haven't seen the empty shelves that we know are coming towards the end of summer.
Okay, Mattel is already planning price increases and trying to diversify its supply chain. What sort of changes are you hearing about? What sort of changes have you made, or are you preparing to make? How drastically do you think your business is going to change?
Well, for our business, I mean, at the Toy Book, we've been the leading trade publication covering the North American toy industry since 1984. So our company has seen it all, but we've never seen a pricing environment and a geopolitical circumstance like we're dealing with right now, because everything is a wild card. So essentially, the retailers we speak to, the manufacturers we speak to, they're in a panic because they can't forecast for the holidays, not knowing what things are going to cost, if they're going to have them here. And then you have this downside that's just not being reported yet, that the job loss has already started.
Wow.
A lot of the small to mid-sized companies, there have been layoffs. I just learned today that some folks at another company, I won't say their name yet, but they've been furloughed. So those are independent, privately held companies, not the public folks, but the job losses have happened. We've seen smaller retailers that are on the verge of going out of business. You've got other manufacturers that might be able to last another 6-8 weeks, but then it's really going to hurt. So forecasting is a huge issue right now.
Right.
And you look at the fact that we've got this 145% tariff on China. What happens when that 90-day pause lifts for all of the other countries? Do we spike from 10% on those to much higher?
Yeah. Okay, and talk about the holiday orders in a normal situation. How soon do these companies try to get their products to them, to get them on the shelves for Christmas? And talk about the uncertainty that you're hearing from these various stores around the country.
Sure. So right now, holiday toys, and I should add too, not just toys, anything seasonal. Think your Halloween costumes and your holiday decor. That merchandise should all be being produced right now. The factory lines should be cranking, and the shipments should be flowing, because really it needs to be on the boat and headed here by the first part of June, because retailers are going to start doing their holiday resets right around August, September. I always say if it's September 1st and you're not set, you're late, but these stores need to be in stock, ready to rock. And right now, we've got a pause situation. There are toy makers that have had their production lines paused for a month.
Wow.
There are shipments that are sitting on docks in China waiting to go. There are ships coming into the west coast of the U.S. that are half full. We've heard of truckers. These are the residual people you don't think of when the numbers get reported. You've got a trucker that might be an independent contractor that doesn't want to make the trek to the West Coast to pick up something or to deliver something because they're afraid they won't be able to load up their truck and make it worth their while to drive back east.